how I went from introvert to social confidence. This is a question like my mother asked me a lot because she's like me, like I'm quite introverted like as a person, like I've always been. But during the last years, I managed to do a lot of things to kind of like really enjoy the like social aspects of life. And now like I really thrive from it and like I get loads of energy from like being social and meeting different people from other nationalities and like talking to people, and it's so nice. It's quite like strange though that like you can really go from like being really introverted and like being so tired after going to places with lots of people and like socializing, and like it's like really making you tired and you having to like put a lot of effort to it. Like to now, like when I really thrive from meeting lots of different people, like talking to people, and like it's so fun. Like I really enjoy it and like feel like so energized after it. And I'll tell you here like how I managed to go like from one point to another, and like how I'm also like every day like pushing myself to be even more like and enjoy it even more, because like nothing in life is just set. Like it's all evolving like continually, and also just a person like you continually evolve. And to master self, there are lots of strategies you can use to like become the best version of yourself. And also like if you're quite introverted, like I always been, and like I'm still am, like I love being alone and like doing stuff by myself. But now I also thrive by being with other people too. So like for me it's like the best of both worlds, when I can like I really enjoy being alone. I love it. But now I also love being with other people and like talking to people, and like it's so nice. So you should get a little like image of how it is for me. Like I grew up in Spain, and in Spain people are like extremely extroverted. I grew up in like southern Spain, close to Malaga, and people there talk like all the time. If you're like in a table of 5-6 people, like good luck talking. Like to talk you need to like raise your voice low, because people will talk like just in front of you. So I've always been like the kind of the shy guy on the table, like the guy that didn't talk so much. And same as in my team too. Like in my team I play football professionally, and I played before for Malaga Club de Football in Spain. And always in my team too, like they talked like all the time. And I was maybe like the shy guy that didn't say so much and was just like looking and kind of smiling. And it went to a point where like every time we had like a team dinner or team lunch, the guys in the team knew that I was so shy, so they would just like say my name, Daniel on the table, Daniel on the table. And because they wanted me to give like a talk to everyone, to like all the people, because they knew that it was so like hard for me. So every time they did it, I had to like stand up on the table, kind of like stand up from my chair and like give a little like little talk in front of everyone. Like para mí es un auténtico placer estar aquí, y la temporada que viene vamos a ganar la liga. Like for me it's like a pleasure to be here, and next year we will win the league and stuff like that. Just like to motivate, and they thought it was so funny. But the good thing though is like you start learning, and like the more you expose yourself to like uncomfortable situations, like you grow tons by it, like tons. I even went to like a speech therapist because I was also like stuttering loads, and really having a hard time like talking to people. Like when doing it, also like I started stuttering, and it was so like so stressful. Also like when talking to girls and starting to stuttering, and like I had zero social confidence, and like it was like for my mind too, it was terrible. Terrible. And so it like really like changed everything for me. First I started reading like many books about like self-development, maybe like 2021, about like how the mind works, and like the placebo effect, and like everything about like the psychology of the brain, and like how also what you think impacts a lot. And then also I started improving my diet, and that also makes a big difference. Like having like much more stable blood sugar makes a big difference. Like balancing each meal with like good amount of protein, fat and carbs, also fiber, so the blood sugar goes up, then go down, and like is stable later. Like that makes a big difference for me. Same as also like getting the proper nutrition, like getting enough carbs, enough fat, enough protein, because like if you're under eating carbs, for example, too, like your brain still uses like the liver glycogen as fuel, like the glucose. And if you don't have like enough, it can also make an impact. Same as like hydration, like if you don't drink any water, it can also impact things. And me as an athlete, I sweat a lot. If I maybe don't drink like water with electrolytes, I also notice like a big difference. Same as like also like not overeating meals. But what makes like the biggest difference for me is the thing that I every week always try to make myself uncomfortable in social situations. Because like if I were to be like alone in my home like for a week or two, like then what if I go out, like it would be so much more like harder. But if I like all the time try to like put myself out there, the more I do it too, like I just become like more and more comfortable, and like more and more easy for me to do it kind of. So now like I go to like a speaking cafe and I practice my French and German with random people every week. Maybe like 1, 2, 3 times per week, depending on like my schedule and like how much I can go. I also go to like dancing classes with random people too, to also like talk to different people, like get myself like comfortable too with talking to random people all the time. But like this is like what I've done like newly, but during the last years, like to overcome like these things, like 4 or 5 years ago, what I started to do is like also like going also like out like solo to clubs and stuff, and making myself like uncomfortable, and like trying to like, as you also go out alone, like you have nothing like making yourself comfortable, like holding you, so you can just like be kind of yourself. And like if you go up to a girl or a boy and talk to them and they react you, like no one will notice, and like probably you won't see that girl or boy again. So like it's just also like good for you if you do like me, that I also don't drink alcohol, so I always go out sober. So then maybe like it's even more like harder for some people, or like more uncomfortable to go up to someone. But you also like learn much more when you're sober, because then you are nothing like affecting your judgment either. And everything you do, like when you go out sober, you will remember it too, and you can also like learn from it. So I started going out like loads, like alone also and sober, and to different clubs and places to talk to people and like learn things, and like make myself a bit uncomfortable. Also like, for example, seeing a cute girl in the street and like going up to her and asking her a question about what they were like, do you know what this place is? And then, oh, but you seem cute, what's your name, where do you come from? Or like just like, hey, I'm Daniel, or whatever. But also like the fact of like approaching random people, it can also like help a lot, like building like your self-confidence, because like even if you're like introverted, the more you do like uncomfortable things, the more you like push your limits and talk to different people, and like get out there and like go out solo and meet different people, and like go to a social hostel and meet people from all over places. Like the more you do it, even if it seems really strange, like the more you will also like enjoy it and like learn from it and grow, and be able like to do much more in the future too. Another thing that's for me also quite important is like also with the nutrition part, is like getting like the proper nutrients you need of everything, because like there's so much things that affect the brain, how the brain works, and like all that's in the body. And for example, if you're deficient in certain like B vitamins, can make a big difference for the brain too. Because like for me, like I have like papers where I can see like all my genetics, and also like my dopamine pathways and serotonin pathways, and all the like genes involved, the pathways, and also like all the nutrients that affects each gene. I can show you it in a later video. And for example, I can see that like how important, for example, like B6 is for certain pathways, and B2 and B1. Same as like with nutrients. For example, the methylation is a thing that like it's really important for your brain too, to like produce neurotransmitters. It produces like SAMe, that's key for some genetics, like COMT. Yeah, we can talk about it later. But this is like really important for like breaking down dopamine and like serotonin and like noradrenaline, like all the neurotransmitters, and also like to produce them. And if you don't have enough of like certain B vitamins, like B9 or B12 or B2, it can make a big difference. Same as like with minerals too, like with zinc or copper or like whatever, because they are like it's all needed. So same as like with vitamin D. Like I've been living in Sweden now for 4 years, and early this year, I hardly didn't like have much energy. Like I felt more like introverted and didn't do so much things. I did like a blood test and saw that like my vitamin D levels were on the floor. I started taking my vitamin D with K2 and magnesium. Like I noticed like the biggest difference ever. Like crazy. Like I have so much energy now. Like it's madness. But like if you can just like try to make yourself uncomfortable, like do like the hard things, like push away your limits and like go out solo, sober, and like talk to random people, and like every week like do something different and new and like something social with people you don't know. That's a big thing. Also like balancing your meals to like have like stable levels throughout the day of the blood sugar and everything, like balancing with fiber, protein, fat and carbs. And then also another key thing is like getting the proper nutrients you need of everything, both like the B vitamins, the minerals, for example like the fat soluble vitamins like vitamin D also. Can also be smart to maybe like test your vitamin D levels to see where they are, because like even if you live in a sunny country, maybe you like still haven't got enough. So it's quite interesting. Same as like the omega-3 levels, like optimizing it too can be really important. But you don't want to have like an omega-3 index of 2, 3, 4. Like optimal is like over 8. So if you can like optimize like everything, both the nutrients, the vitamins, the minerals, like all of that. Also like balancing your meals, and then also like every week trying to like make yourself uncomfortable, like talking to new people, like meeting friends, like going out to stuff. Maybe like me, like appointing yourself to a like French speaking cafe when you know zero French, and the first day like not knowing how to say anything kind of, and like writing on like a paper. Je m'appelle Daniel et je suis 24 ans. Writing on a paper like all the basic stuff, so you can read it, because like you can't say anything. And now like I've learned quite a lot, and now I can go to a speaking cafe like I went yesterday, and I talked French for 3.5 hours. So like, and I started French in September, and it's May now, so like you can learn quick too, but you have to get yourself out there and like make yourself uncomfortable. And like the more you do it too, like you will become much better at it. And yeah, I promise you, like it's a ride, but trying to master yourself in every way, like it's so nice, and like it motivates me a lot. But I'm still trying to work on it, and I also can promise you that like I will also get much more better at talking to you also in the future, because as I grew up in Spain, they speak so quickly in Spain, so I also like got it a bit in my mind, so I have to try also to speak more calmly and like with a much better pronunciation too, because there are many times when I maybe like talk too fast or like start to stutter, not stuttering anymore, but maybe like talking too fast, and like so you maybe can't understand me. So I will for sure work on it too, and like improve on this YouTube channel, and hopefully we all together can master self and like do the best of this life. So yeah, see you soon in the next video, and hope that you all like can master your life. Bye.